Imagine a place once filled with laughter, joy, and families making memories. A place where children screamed, not from fear, but from the thrill of a roller coaster's plunge. Now, imagine that same place silent, overgrown, decaying, haunted by the echoes of a forgotten time. These are the world's most terrifying abandoned amusement parks, each with a story to chill your spine. Welcome back to the Forbidden Realm Files, where we uncover the world's most unsettling locations. From the eerie ruins of Chernobyl to the ghostly remains of parks swallowed by disaster and scandal, today we explore the top 10 most terrifying abandoned amusement parks on Earth. Are you buckled in and ready? Good. Let's get started. 10. Six Flags New Orleans, USA. Hurricane Katrina devastated New Orleans in 2005, but long after the waters receded, Six Flags New Orleans remained underwater for over a month. What was once a vibrant, bustling park turned into a ghost town, submerged in despair. Today, rusted roller coasters loom like skeletal remains. Mold, decay, and water damage have transformed this park into a post-apocalyptic nightmare. Nature has reclaimed the grounds, and urban explorers report a suffocating silence, broken only by the eerie groans of collapsing structures. And the most haunting part, the Jester roller coaster still stands twisted and broken, like the laughter it once inspired, now turned to horror. 9. Pripyat Amusement Park, Ukraine. This is the most infamous abandoned amusement park in the world. Pripyat was the town built for the workers of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. The amusement park was scheduled to open on May 1st, 1986, but it never did. The explosion at Reactor 4 happened just days before. As radiation swept through the town, the Ferris wheel, bright, new, untouched, was never ridden. Now it stands frozen in time, covered in rust and sorrow, a monument to lives forever altered. There's a chilling silence around it. You don't hear birds, you don't hear wind, just the overwhelming sense that something terrible happened here and is still lingering. 8. Nara Dreamland, Japan. Modeled after Disneyland, Nara Dreamland opened in 1961 in Japan. For decades, it was a place of dreams. But in 2006, due to declining attendance and financial struggles, the dream ended. Today, it's a place of nightmares. Crumbling fairytale castles, overgrown roller coasters, a decaying main street that feels more like a haunted film set than a childhood memory. Urban explorers say the silence is deafening, only broken by the crunch of dead leaves beneath their feet and the occasional creak of a rusted ride swaying in the wind. It's not just abandoned, it feels watched. 7. Lake Shawnee Amusement Park, USA. This one's different. It was cursed long before it ever opened. Lake Shawnee Amusement Park in West Virginia was built in the 1920s on land with a violent past, including the massacre of a settler's children by Native Americans and subsequent retaliation. When the park opened, several children died tragically on the grounds. One girl on a swing ride was struck and killed by a delivery truck. Another child drowned in the lake. Eventually, the park shut down and nature took over. But the spirits, they never left. Paranormal investigators have reported chilling EVP recordings, sudden temperature drops, and even sightings of ghostly children playing in the ruins. 6. Spree Park, Germany. Located in East Berlin, Spree Park was once the pride of East Germany. Opened in 1969, it saw millions of visitors. But after reunification, it struggled financially, and the real drama began. In 2002, the owner tried to smuggle over $14 million worth of cocaine hidden inside amusement ride parts. Yes, you heard that right. The park shut down shortly after. Now, it's a twisted wonderland. A giant dinosaur lays face down in the mud. A once vibrant swan boat floats lifelessly in an algae-covered pond. The Ferris wheel groans in the wind, as if trying to spin back to better times. 5. Okpo Land, South Korea. In the 1990s, Okpo Land was a small amusement park with a big problem: safety. One of its duck-themed roller coasters reportedly caused multiple injuries. Then came tragedy. A young girl fell to her death from the ride. Without warning or announcement, the park closed. No apologies, no repairs, just an abandoned shell of a tragedy. Photos from the ruins show rusted tracks and the very duck car where the girl died, still sitting in place, unmoving, as if waiting. 4. Gulliver's Kingdom, Japan. At the foot of Mount Fuji lies one of the most bizarre failed theme parks, Gulliver's Kingdom. It featured a massive 147-foot statue of Gulliver tied to the ground, surrounded by eerily empty walkways and bizarre attractions. Sounds odd, but here's where it gets darker. The park was built near the Aokigahara forest, also known as the Suicide Forest. Nearby was a former headquarters of the Aum Shinrikyo cult, responsible for the Tokyo subway sarin attack. Tourism didn't exactly thrive in that atmosphere. When it closed in 2001, the statue became a surreal beacon in a land of grief and violence. Eventually, it was torn down, but the chilling connection between theme park whimsy and real-life horror remains. 3. Joyland, USA. For over 50 years, Joyland in Wichita, Kansas was a family destination. But in the early 2000s, it began to fall apart. Literally. As lawsuits and safety issues piled up, Joyland closed its gates. Vandals and looters moved in. Fires broke out, and the park's once iconic wooden roller coaster began to rot away. But the most unsettling thing? The clown animatronic that used to greet guests at the entrance was reportedly stolen and then found in a nearby abandoned house. Since then, sightings of creepy clowns in the area have only added to the lore. 2. Heritage USA, United States. In the 1980s, televangelists Jim and Tammy Faye Bakker created Heritage USA, a massive Christian theme park. At its peak, it drew nearly 6 million visitors a year. Then came scandal, financial fraud, affairs. The fall from grace was swift. Parts of the park were abandoned and left to rot. The giant water park sat dry, its slides cracked and faded. Mold overtook hotel rooms. Statues of angels stood chipped and moss-covered, like forgotten sentinels of hypocrisy. It was supposed to be heaven on earth. Now, it's more like purgatory. 1. Wonderland, China. Outside of Beijing, construction on Wonderland, meant to be China's largest amusement park, came to a sudden halt in 1998 due to financial disagreements. What's left? A surreal, haunting field filled with half-finished fairytale castles and skeletal steel frames. No visitors, no laughter. Just open fields, swallowing dreams whole. Farmers began using the abandoned land to grow crops, literally planting food around the decaying ruins of fairyland. Eventually, it was demolished. But for years, it stood as a haunting metaphor. Even dreams can rot if built on shaky foundations. These parks once symbolized joy, wonder, and human creativity. Now they serve as ghostly museums, preserved by time, touched by tragedy, and filled with unanswered questions. Why do places meant for happiness become the most haunting when forgotten? Maybe it's because echoes of joy are the hardest to silence. If you like this trip into the eeriest corners of forgotten fun, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We've got more mysteries, more haunted places, and more stories that will stay with you long after the screen fades to black. This has been the Forbidden Realm Files. We'll see you next time. Until then, stay safe.